Hi guys, and welcome back. Now, it's been a little while since we've checked in on our chickens, and if you remember, we hatched 14 mystery chicken eggs and we got 10 chickens. Now we only have 5. Now we're going to do a couple of upgrades today, and I'll talk you through why we're going to do it and what happened to the other 5 chickens. You could probably guess, so let's have a look. We built this coop from scratch from an old Wendy house we got off Facebook Marketplace for £20, and we hatched a chicken ourselves. Now, all was going fine. So we started off with the 10 chickens, and we expected to get a couple of cockerels. However, one morning we heard the dreaded noise, an awful sound, and it's right near my bedroom. We had one boy. So with one boy it wasn't too bad. We managed to rehome that one and give him a lovely home where he could run with a flock of his own. However, we then heard another horrible sound. We had a second cockerel, a third cockerel, a fourth cockerel, and a fifth cockerel. We ended up with 5 cockerels, and we couldn't get rid of them all, couldn't rehome them all. And I'll tell you what we ended up having to do in a bit. So this is our current door. Opens and closes absolutely perfectly fine. However, what I'm finding is it's really dark in the morning, and as you can see out here, it's a real boggy mess at the moment, and it just makes it really difficult to walk when it's dark. So we're going to put the automatic open and closer on it, just to save us having to come out in the morning. We're still going to come out in the evenings and check on them, because why wouldn't you? So this is the one we brought it off Amazon. It's pretty easy to use, I think. So we are just going to have to take this old surround off and put this new one on. Okay, so that was pretty easy to fit, but does it work? So let's have a look. So in theory, I've already set the time. Then you have to set it again. What time do I want it open in the morning? We will have it open at 6:30 in the morning. And then close in the evening. We will close it at 7 o'clock in the evening. Okay, so you can manually check if it works, so let's have a look. And it has got a safety mechanism, so if it hits something, it stops and goes back up. Okay, so that part's decent, so let's open it up for them. Lovely. So like I say, what happened to the other cockerels? Unfortunately, I had to cull them. It was the worst thing I've had to do ever. However, I started to advertise them on Facebook, and a lot of people wanted to get them, and they wanted to use them for cockfighting, and they were going to cull them themselves. And I just thought, who am I to eat chicken, buy chicken, and shy away from the fact that this is actually what happens. So in a humane way, I did cull them, and I actually used the meat, and actually it was some of the best chicken I've ever eaten in my life, to the point where I'm thinking maybe in the future I might even raise some meat birds. It was devastating, and it's not for everyone. However, I wanted to see the process through and not be ignorant to the fact that's how we get our meat. So like I say, that was 5 down, but we have got 5 left, and I'm going to show you them now whilst we put the nesting box inside. So these are the 5 we've got left. One white one. We had 5 of them in the beginning. Looking quite pretty. Again, there's a couple in here that I'm not sure are definitely hens. This one's definitely a hen. The white one's definitely a hen. The Plymouth Rock looking one at the back is definitely a hen. But like I say, it's so hard to tell. But they are getting older now, and they are still really beautiful, the ones we've got. Hopefully they're all hens now, but time will tell. But we are going to put one nesting box in here for them to get used to for now, and hopefully we get some eggs by Christmas. This one's pretty cool over here, this speckled one. But still really chuffed. We hatched them, really happy with the results we got. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure there's not still a cockerel over there. But let's get this bit sorted and see how we get on. Right, so it's a bit cramped in here, but this is the nesting box we've gone for. So you can see it's got close up roost there. The eggs will roll to the front, and then you can pick your eggs out of there. But you can, importantly, you can keep it closed so they can get used to it for a couple of weeks before they need to use it. So let's see if we can mount it easy enough. Now it's important to keep this nice and low to the ground. I might even keep it on the floor for now, and then they still want to roost up higher. We don't want them sleeping or pooping in here, which they will inevitably do at some point. So there we go, so that's nice and solid, and then that clips in there, and then eventually we put sawdust in there, eggs will roll to the front, easy peasy, scrambled egg for breakfast, lovely. Now it's still slightly lower than the high end roosting bar. Worst case they roost up there, it's not the end of the world. We can still clear out underneath, and they can't get in there yet, so that's all good. So like I say, these are the 5 that are left, and they are beautiful, and I'm thinking they're all hens, but I've been proved wrong before. Now I don't know what breeds they are. If you do know what breeds they are, please comment and let me know. I just bought them as mystery eggs, like a mixed bunch, so I'm not 100% sure. We fitted some new roost bars, which they do love, and they go up there. Well, there you go. So much bigger than before, and they're 15 weeks old. So we're going to leave that nesting box in there for a couple of weeks, then we'll open it up, let them get used to it. Then hopefully a week or so after that, maybe just before Christmas, we get some chicken eggs, which would be absolutely lovely. Like I say, the colours on them are absolutely amazing. That one we always thought would be a hen because of the way it looked and its colours, and this one, out of 3 white ones, that's what we ended up with left. So check that still works, and let them back in. What do they think of the nesting box? Are they scared of it? Inquisitive? Who knows? I think all the others want to go in there as well and have a look. This one's head is very amusing. It can barely see, so I'm not sure what breed that is, and that one's kind of the same. But they're kind of cool. I like the green shimmering on the back of this one. Very, very cool. Okay, so there we go. A little bit sad, some of you might not agree with the way we did it. However, I think if you don't know where your meat's coming from and you're just happy to buy it from the shelf, then you should be happy to dispatch them. We did it in a humane way. We watched loads of videos, did plenty of research, and to be fair, I was impressed with the process. It's not as horrible as you think it will be. It was still sad because we hatched them, but it was better that we did it and someone else treated them badly. So that being said, that's a little update video on our chickens. The next update video hopefully will be when they lay eggs. So if you never see another update video, they're all cockerels, and we just, you know, never got any eggs. So until the next one, take care.